Crazy Penguin teaches you Linux. NickSnoob.com.
Welcome to Inkscape. In this video, we're going to take an SVG image and bring it into FreeCAD and turn it into a 3D model by adding some depth to it. So this is super useful. You can pretty much make anything you want in FreeCAD, but doing like artistic graphics with lots of curves and stuff is easier to do like in a program like Inkscape. Doing stuff with a lot of text is easier to do in Inkscape. Or maybe you just found like a pumpkin or Christmas tree SVG online and you want to make a Halloween decoration or a Christmas ornament. So being able to bring in an SVG into FreeCAD and add depth to it is super useful for that. So that's what we're going to do. I made a really quick demo in Inkscape. And if I just open this up, it's just some text with a box around it. And these are separate shapes. The box is one path, the text is another path. So let's bring that into FreeCAD. Right now I just have FreeCAD, the latest development version, the latest app image. So if you have FreeCAD, yours might look a little different than mine. But to get started, we just want to make a parametric body. And then we want to go to our workbench here. I'm going to zoom in. And on our workbench, we just want to go to draft. I'll zoom back out. And now we want to import our file. So I'm going to import that test SVG on my desktop. And it's going to ask me if I want to import it as image format FreeCAD or SVG as geometry. So that's what I want, SVG as geometry. Open. And so you can see that brought that in. And then in our under our model, we have an unnamed part, and then we have our body, and then we have the text came in with the name text and rectangle 1. And so if you're doing this in Illustrator, whatever you have your objects named as, that is how they will come in here. But anyway, so we need to convert this to something that we can work with. And we also want to group them together. So I'm going to grab all the text. And then up here, you'll see a draft to sketch. And we want to click that. That's going to turn that draft into a sketch. And then we can delete all those text objects because we don't need them anymore. Now we've got the sketch. And so now I want to do the same thing for Rec 1 for this shape. And click draft to sketch. There we go. We don't need that shape anymore. Delete. And so now we've got that. If you're working with a really complicated SVG, you might have an error when you go to click to draft to make, convert the draft to a sketch. A common error you might see is non-planar, non-planar splines or non-planar something. If you get that, then you just want to select all of those paths and then select this right here, which is shape 2D view. And I wish I had an example of that, because that's going to convert it to a shape, and then you can take that shape and convert it into a draft to sketch. This basically just does a projection and projects everything on a flat plane and creates shapes from that, and then you can take all of those shapes and select them and convert them to a sketch. So now we're ready to go, add some depth. So I'm going to go to the part design workbench, and I will just select this and say add a padding, and it's going to tell me I cannot use selected objects. Selected objects must belong to the active body. So all I have to do to fix that is just come take these sketches and move them under the body. So now I should be able to do that. So I'm going to go try that again. Whoops. Did it not add it to the body? Come on, get under there. There we go. Okay, now it should work. There we go. So I need to pull this down so I can see. So this is new. Now you can I think move this. I'm used to just typing in what I want here, but 10 millimeters is exactly what I want for that. So I'm going to say okay. And then I'm going to select my sketch for my text, and I'm going to pad that as well. And that I'm going to pad differently. I'm going to pad that, let's say 4 millimeters. So now that's going to be lined up with the back right now. If I rotate that around, you can see that that lines up with the back. I want to put it in the middle. So FreeCAD being parametric just means you can go change things anywhere in your tree. So where I did this pad, I could double click on it and go change my pad. But I can also go to the sketch that I used for the pad. And then if we look down here, we've got attachment points for that. So we can go change our placement. And we can go to our position here, and we can say on our Z, we would want to move that 2 millimeters. Did you not do that? Position 2 millimeters. I did not see that do that. Let's say 4 millimeters. Oh, I didn't say okay yet. I need to say okay to that, and then I can do it. So it wasn't letting me. Let's go back to 2. So you can see how that just moved. The sketch, let's do 3. Right? So now you can see that my origin of my sketch moved, but I still have the pad that I did on it. So that's all that it means. Being parametric is that you can go anywhere up your tree and make a change. So now that I moved that, I could still go back to that pad and change the amount of padding that I put on it. Or I could go back to the sketch. Bad example on the text, but I could come like move one of these points, and then if I say close, you can see that that text now has that modification I made in it, but it's still applying all the modifiers, down the stack, down the tree. So this is it. We're ready to go. If I wanted to 3D print this, all I would have to do is come to body, or select the body, and then say file and say export. And we would just want to export this as an STL or a step. Either one would work. I'll just do STL, and I'll call it test.stl, save. And there we go. We're ready to load that into our slicer and 3D print it. I hope you found this useful. And if you did, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks for watching.